everybody. Shut up, music. It is I. Oh wait, you gotta be kidding me. It was working before. No way. Oh my god. Well, now I got another. This is just great. Alright, give me a second, guys. There we go. Fucking you gotta be done with me, man. This goddamn webcam, this mic, it's a whole thing right now, dude. It's a whole thing. That was sounding. It's frozen again. Cool. Come on, man. What is it? Like, again, I have streams where, you know, it might freeze a couple times. It might just not work at all. I don't know. But, like, last couple it's been fine. We are playing Danganronpa again. We're just gonna do... It froze again. I'm gonna beat the shit out of this fucking... Oh my god. Nothing just ever wants to work for me, guys. Nothing. Not one single thing ever wants to work for me. It always got to be... It's hard. It's always got to make it hard for me. Me. I'm the victim of everything in the world, apparently. Like, it's just... For me, guys. Nothing. Not one single thing ever wants to work for me. Alright, see, like, when I have my mic up here, it sounds great. Like, when my mic is literally... Like, I have it here, right? Literally, it's... Alright, look, little movement right there. There. And I have it pointed right towards my mouth. And it sounds like I'm fucking... You know... 10 meters away. Speaking at this volume. But when I get it right in my mouth and I start eating it, I sound normal. Like, dude, this mic is supposed to be omnidirectional, bro. It should just pick up my volume when I'm right here. Okay? I know you're technically going to have a lot of mics that are like here. I get it. But streamers have mics that aren't like right in the face. And the other thing is, this came with... Actually, this came from a little streamer box. I think it's over here. This came with a little, like, desk clamp. So you clamp on the side of a desk and you can, like, bring it in. But the only problem is I can't really clamp it anywhere besides the front of it. Like, I can clamp it right in front of me. I don't know if that's going to work, though. Maybe it might work. Where? Oh, it's up there. Hold on. I might actually give it a shot. Why the fuck not? Why I'm here? Why not? Why the hell not? And my camera's frozen again. Oh my god. Dude, this is just... Alright, my camera's just gonna be frozen. I don't even know if you can hear me right now. Bro, what the hell even is this design, dude? What even is this design, bro? It's nuts. Oh, good. Okay. Oh, I see. Dude, I don't know if it's gonna work. I think it's supposed to be for like the side of my desk. This fucking stupid cameraman. Not the cameraman. The cameraman's cool. I have to click in configure video for it to work. My head's a mess right now. So I got this stand thing. So maybe if I like put it in, if I set this up, I can get the mic closer to my mouth. and people can actually hear me for once. I guess actually, but depending on how this is, let's go here. No, this can't turn. Oh wait. Oh, this can turn around though. Okay, but then wait, can it? Yeah. All right. Why does that? So it springs, and then do I tighten? Ah, okay, I tighten this. Wait. Okay, tighten it. Does it? That did barely anything. It's still okay. So now, if I do this, I don't know, you guys can hear me right now. How's it saying on my phone? Okay, it sounds. I mean, you can still hear me, but again, it's just the quality of the mic. I need to get an audio interface. I need to get a bit of this, bit of that. I need money. So if I do that, so I'm gonna tighten it. My desk. Let's move. Okay. So that's pretty tight on my desk. Now the only problem is, and then if I have it here, I don't know, I've got it on this. I don't have to unplug it. I have to unplug my mic for a second, hold on. There we go. Why is it? Oh, you're joking. Move out of the way. Okay. Alright. That's alright. Wait, is that really going there? No. It's so loose though. How the fuck? I'm gonna break it if I do that. Is that really? Hold on. So, but it's not even in there properly. Can I like hook it in, like, clip it in? Because that one just slides into that little hole and it fits perfectly. This one's like, it could be the right attachment. That could be for something else, but I don't know what else it could be for. I don't know. I know this is so fun for the start of the stream, right? I want to get straight into this game. I'm fucking trying to fix my mic, as I should have done before, but I just thought of it when I was on stream. That's not right. Why is that not right? It's not in there properly. That goes in, because this how I had it in this thing, right? That sits on my desk, and then it kind of, this part in the middle fits this whole time mic. What I got here barely, like, just fits. It doesn't fit the actual head of the mic. It doesn't, but this is too small. The lead cable for where it's supposed to go in. And this is supposed to be the top there. What is that? Like, maybe this stretches, but nah, that's cheap shit. That try. Oh, maybe. I feel like it's gonna break though. Doesn't even fit in there properly. It doesn't wrap around or anything. Doesn't clip. Nah. That's gonna fall out. That's gonna fall out so easily. Well, at least I sound better. I mean, I could try this. So I've got a pretty nice setup. This is so that this little stand that's on my connected to my desk, and this kind of comes right in front of my face. But again, that attachment, it's not even on there properly. Like, look at. You hear that? That's possums in the room. That's just gonna that's gonna fall out, man. Fuck me. All right, you know, we gotta try it though. We have to try it, and we just gotta hope that everything's fine. That's all I say. That's all I say about that. But at least it's in front of my face. Like, it's not to the side. It's actually like in, like it's right here, which I think is so much better. But I have to adjust it a little bit because I think it might be a bit close. I need to wrap my arm in. I can do that now. I'm trying to listen. Why? You're joking. God damn it. Alright, give me a second, guys. I will be back. Alright, guys. I am back. I've got it. I tried to move my thing a bit and I just fucked the entire thing up. So, I think we're good. Stay a little bit longer to get into how we're sounding on the stream. Alright, guys. I am back. Cool. And that sounds so much better because it's actually closer to my mouth instead of being like a few meters away. So that's really good. However, the mic cord itself is kind of in the way. If I can like maybe do no green. No, just won't. No. Fuck it, that's fine. That's fine. It's all good. All good in the hood. Just gonna launching Danganronpa, and I'm gonna get straight into it because not here to fuck spiders, as they say in Australia. Not here to fuck spiders, mate. Why they say that? I don't know. It's fucking disturbing. Yep. All right. We are at trial prep for 2. So last chapter we just went through the entire trial investigation. Now actually the trial prep, which is literally just picking skills, which I've got 3 of now. I think 3 or 4. I got 3. How are we looking? Oh, awesome, Shadow. Mate, you joined at a good time because I spent the first 10 minutes fixing my mic. And I've got it actually closer to my mouth now, so you can actually hear me better. Hey, sorry I couldn't make it to the previous stream. You're streaming during my workouts. Yeah, sorry, bro. As I said, I'm gonna be streaming around this time. That's just how it is. Always feel free to watch back the VODs though. On my coffee break currently at work. Awesome, man. Today's definition of casual work day. Got nothing to do but watch machines. Mate, that sounds fun, bro. Watching machines, bro. Holy dude. Well, you came at a good time because I'm about to start the second trial. And that's all good that you can catch the last stream. Okay, and I actually sound better. Right, this is so much better. It's a little bit in the way, like the mic. Like I need to set up a little better, spend a bit more time getting it perfect. But I've set up the stand, and that's what I was doing for like the first 10 minutes. But the main thing was I've got the mic near my mouth now. You know, it's still not great. Definitely needs a bit of cleanup, but it's fine. Okay, skills. We got 14 skill points, because that's literally all I've been getting. And we've got Meliodas voice, trance, and then we just have algorithm. Increase the speed of memorizing a statement effective during the non-stop debate. Cost 2. Increase the speed of memorizing a statement effective during the non-stop debate. Okay. That might come in handy. We'll see. Should keep an eye out on. In the top 4 trials, the entire trilogy. Yeah, no, exactly. I agree. I wouldn't put it. Maybe I wouldn't put top 4. Top 5. Yeah. I think it is probably this trial coming. Is probably the best in the first game, in my opinion. Besides the last one. I think the final trial in the first game is the best final trial in any of the games. So that's probably like if we're counting those final trials, then yes. But this is the best out of the 5 like main trials, I guess you get. So let's fucking do this. Great trial. So
let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So your votes will determine the results.
And also I've kind of forgotten like some of the controls I need to relearn, because when I first played this game, I was on PlayStation, and I think I played a bit of it on PC during COVID, and when I was playing the first trial, I was like, fuck, how do I stop and shit? So I don't remember how the slowdown time. I remember how the slowdown time. I don't know how to speed it up. So I don't know if I haven't unlocked that yet, but I don't know. Let's give a basic explanation of the class trial.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong
one... the second trial was the start of my questioning reality and sexuality. Nice, man. I mean, yeah, as is with Chihiro, you're like, wait, what? Hold on, what's going on here? We shouldn't really count chapters. Yeah, again, that's why, you know, without counting chapter 6, then it would be my favorite. With chapter 6, if we were counting those final ones, then that one is my favorite, like, out of this game. So, yeah, but if we're not counting those last ones, then yes, definitely. This one would probably be my favorite. And I also do really like the third one as well. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to close my window blind. I don't want people sitting at me on the street, bro. And I might close my door as well. Alright, let's lock the hell in. Let's lock the fleep in, bro.
I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon.
Let's make clear what we use to deliver the final blow. I think we know we use the final blow, bro. Just like Jack's personal, I just let.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
Yep.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
We know. Oh, what? See, this alright. See, this is why I fuck up all the time with.
Fatal injury.
Oh, whoops.
It appears
See,
it was a head
again,
wound.
it's been a while, okay? Like I said, I haven't played this game
According to
in
the
10
Monokuma
years,
file,
bro.
The killer used a blunt instrument.
Like, properly.
But what kind
And I'm playing
of
on mean,
blunt
okay? It's the first time I'm
instrument
playing
could it
mean, so I've got like.
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Okay, there we. Alright. Gotta forget it's the contradictions. It's not the statements. I don't remember that. Alright, just let's not look at that.
Dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell.
This is-
It was covered in blood,
Okay.
and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Yay! That's so creepy!
It's kind of creepy.
If you don't mind,
But undetected is
I will
creepy.
proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
That's a trailer for the serial killer. Do you really kill Chihiro? New element has been added to the non-stop debates. Shall I hear about it? Sure. This is about white noise, that's right. So the right click, don't I? Yep. Noise. Yep. It's a silencer. Yep. The time level will decrease. Man, I'm set to meme, bro. I'm actually fucking might fail this trial, dude. Because of me being fucking incompetent. Looking at dumbbell. Probably genocide.
The culprit
So,
is
contradiction.
Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed,
Sure.
as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible.
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on. There's
Bullshit.
just no proof for it.
No, that's wrong.
That's wrong, bro. That shit wrong.
I might know one reason he could be involved.
So when you finish Tribute Happy, you want to play in Cianti of West? We'll see, mate. We'll see. Again, like I said, I'm not sure if I'll do streams with people I just met on stream. Like, if I was to do stuff with people, it would probably be with people I know in person. But in the future, like, Aiden's Garden wouldn't be the next game. I probably will play Danganronpa 2 after this. But yeah, if I do end up playing Eden's Garden maybe after Danganronpa 2 and V3, because I reckon I'll play all, like, the trilogy on stream, and then, you know, we're still chatting that time, then yeah, man, I think we definitely could consider Project Eden's Garden together. I think that might be fun. So we can give it a shot.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But
Yeah, you
more
dumbass.
important is the
Fucking
other
perv.
characteristic. And
You
it's
pervert.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
That's damn right, dude. I can tell them. Scissors. There it goes.
I got it! Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, The only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
There we go, straight away, bro. Straight away.
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
You lie!
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has like bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle. Man, why has this gotta be so
Bro,
complicated?
Hagakure, you're just fucking stupid, bro. Shoot, what does it mean? Disassociated mental disorder? Fuck, what was the... Shit, I actually need to lock in. What's the word I'm looking at? It's not split personality. Okay. Oh, wait. Okay. Fuck's sake. I need another letter. That's what I needed. Shit. That's what I meant.
Now I understand.
It's good, sir.
Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange
Yes, they wrote.
behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
Oh, was that my brother? Hold on. I think my brother might be home. I might just go quickly say hey. Give me 1 second. Okay, false alarm. Thought it was my bro. I think it's just someone else opening the door next door. And I thought I heard it closer. Yeah, I know, right? Okay. Alright. Let's see back to it. Wait, what? The one thing that shows too.
I got it!
We have a change,
You're
right?
talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
Fine, think about it. Bottom of two.
she was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
That's not control. Yeah. Killer child, I mean, he's fiend.
The
right?
reason
That's
she
right.
locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Okay.
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How?
Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised. I can't believe you lied.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask
so I
you
trust
to.
the wrong person.
This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise,
Choking you, I promise. But don't worry, never again. Well, the Genocide Jack is shoulder again.
You
That's what she
said
was
if I
talking about, eh?
kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
how many times do I have to tell you? I never said that. But you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it.
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person you don't mean.
So I suppose something lunged backwards. Havoc thought it echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second... Oh shit. There she is.
Hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see?
Genocide Jill!
What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do?
Dude, I'm so glad that Toko had this to a character trait with Genocide Jill, because her normal character, not a fan of, man. Not a fan of. But Genocide Jill, very entertaining.
I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko, that's a loser name, and what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
She's so intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
This is the most thing Genocide Jack. This is beyond insane.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you. I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then, it's not true?
Of course it's not true. How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid? And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless. I mean, they just let this idiotic bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town.
That's
Sure,
crazy,
I'm
dude.
a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone.
Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death.
Is she though?
There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting.
But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
Huh?
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
Maybe she's totally right about that, but it's like still boring me. She said I need to get some more details about all this. It's like the fucking lower desk.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need?
Nah, it doesn't.
Give it up. You killed her.
Alright. Yeah, for sure.
Sorry,
Shut up,
but I
speed
didn't
up.
kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
No, it doesn't! No, that's wrong! Dude, oh my god, that's so wrong, dude.
Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you!
I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things.
Professional.
Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine.
Sure, great analogy.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Look at the difference is the start of the message.
I got it! For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
Could you please stop comparing
Yeah.
killing people to cooking?
And why Italian cooking, man? That's my heritage, bro. Can't be talking shit about my Italian.
Are you saying
Well, she's
the
not
other
talking shit about
difference
it,
has
but
to do with how the body was
not
arranged?
originally murder, dude. Don't compare it. That's right. The second difference is how the body was posed. What was used suspender?
I got it!
Extension
Do
cords,
you
mate.
remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them.
Scissors.
Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
Yeah, fucking into concrete, bro. How is that possible? How they just stab them through their hands into concrete, dude, with scissors? Even if you're strong, the scissors would probably break. They're not that fucking sharp, are they?
And guess what?
Well, maybe they are, I
I
don't
used
know.
my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but
Big
he's
Mac?
wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there.
Pattern.
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why
I
I
know what the
couldn't have
pattern is.
possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Let's see.
I got it!
She was a girl.
Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
That's right.
Bingo, bullseye, right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
Yeah. Oh, boys.
They were all guys?
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it. But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef
Why
suddenly
did
start
they
making
rephrase it
ramen
like
just
that,
because
bro?
they're both noodles? Don't be stupid.
Bro, stop with the food
Too
analogies.
much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the
Can't
absolute
be doing that.
reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely. When you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly? Cur?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect.
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that? Da-da-da-da!
Bro, why would Toko let her have her scissors, though?
She's fully equipped!
That's right! So
She's
I can
fully
kill
equipped.
anywhere, anytime! Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong! You can't, can you, gutter dogs, all of you! Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway.
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Actually, hold on. There's one person. One person who could have copied the Genocide Jack cases. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom.
Here's my answer. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records.
Is that right? Tell us himself, bro.
You already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Then the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I'd put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
I forgot how horny she gets.
What's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me.
That's
then
right,
I must
bro.
Ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
Yeah, he told us to go straight in. Locker rooms. It looks suspicious, very suspicious indeed, wouldn't you agree? Ah, suspicious? Since nobody searched the locker rooms, let's start with the girls' locker room. Yeah, bro, you already knew,
wanted
dude.
to go to the girls'
Let's
locker
start with
room
the girls'
right
locker
away,
room.
right? But since you're a guy,
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
on the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
There's a clear contradiction in what Byakuya just said. I need to make it clear to everyone. New element has been added to non-stop debates. Would you like to hear about it? Yeah, I probably should. We're next going to talk about true flashback. If you aim at a weak spot and hold down the left mouse button, then you'll memorize that weak spot. Oh, that's right. You can grab. Yeah, I forgot. See, I forget about all these fucking. It's been a while. I forget about those different little aspects. So you grab statements and then use it. This memorized phrase can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change truth bullet, it will disappear from your truth cylinder. However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. If you don't seem to have the answer to a lie or contradiction in your loaded truth bullets, it might be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use that to make your case. When's the best time to flashback? Well, you just have to use your keen wits, won't you? In this case, though, I will say that if you don't use a flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Well then, good luck. Okay, I don't know why I read that out loud, but okay. I want to fucking fast forward.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it. That's a natural reaction for
Bro,
any
I thought you
guy.
liked 2D, dude. Come on,
The
man.
victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
I hear Byakuya's comment about Chihiro being a girl. I realize there's a clear contradiction there. I need to make that contradiction clear.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird...
Well, we didn't know Chihiro was
If
dead,
you're
didn't we?
presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it. That's a natural reaction for any guy.
The victim was Chihiro,
who was a girl.
So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
Shut up. Shut up, Fumi. Yeah. Alright. I really
So,
need
you
to spell
said
these.
Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body.
Fuck.
Shoot!
Yeah, I know it doesn't make sense. I was fucking...
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was
So I had it
acting
right the first time.
weird...
See, I think I think too much as well about things. Like sometimes it's just pretty simple, like it is now.
You absolutely take it. That's a natural reaction for any guy.
The victim was Chihiro.
No, that's wrong.
Well, we didn't know it was Chihiro yet.
I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
What's Byakuya's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. I've got him cornered, but he's acting like it was nothing
What's the
to do with
matter?
him.
You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
The difference between this case and other Genocide Jack murders, the evidence that proves Byakuya is reasonable, is hidden in there. Just one's in there. What could it be? Oh, the extension cord?
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
No, that's wrong.
That's on Byakuya.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Hey guys, just fucking look.
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder.
Yes, it did.
And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
Then Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
He's doing it again. So they can't until they call it, as if he's not even involved. Wait,
what's
not
wrong?
Involved?
I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Huh? Do we really need to? We've already
Bro,
decided who did
guys, this is not how it works, bro. We've got to keep fucking pushing forward, dude.
I know, but still. There's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Wait. Just that side, not right.
I got it!
Send the crime.
You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown. She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Hey, Byakuya, did you just take you off guard? Yeah. So suddenly moved to the crime scene. Byakuya, who had been so confident up to now, maybe Byakuya never even realized that the actual scene of the crime
Hey,
happened
don't
somewhere
just
else.
move on without permission. What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Evidence that shows the murder took place somewhere else. And he's just what damn. It's either the posters or the rug.
I got it!
Yeah, the rug.
The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys'
Shut up,
locker
Jill.
room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein
Protein
aren't you?
coffee.
Protein coffee? While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not the stain that was scrubbed away. It was moved.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think?
What?
In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime,
That's how it's done,
the
man.
blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body.
One who could have moved it.
By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go to all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place? To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
If he's right, could Chihiro really have gone into the boys' locker room now?
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I've got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If she had that, she could get into the boys' locker room no
Add the wrong
problem.
one, fuck. Yeah. He's Leon's handbook. Yeah, I know.
Is it really possible?
I want to speed it up.
Could Chihiro really have gotten in?
No, that's not what I meant to do.
Ah! I've got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
No, that's wrong.
Can't be using that.
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because
Why not?
Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup, yup, yup. Hit the nail square on the noggin.
Of
So
course,
that's
if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
Psst! You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
Is that it then? She was killed in the girls' locker room, and Byaku's the one who did it. Really? But still, I don't know
Hold
what
on
else
a
I can do.
second.
Oh, thank God. Kyoko Kirigiri
I
coming in
agree with
clutch
you,
like
though.
always.
I think you're on the right track.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got
It's
to
been a
say?
bit passive this trial.
There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So...
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What?
What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
Huh? For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
So if we knew what was happening, the class trial had been put on hold. We headed off with Kyoko in the lead. And where she took us was...
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom. What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time. Be
Want to
sure to
again?
examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Examine her carefully? Like
Oh my
using
God,
our
Fumi.
hands?
You need to fucking
No,
get out of here,
no,
bro.
no, way!
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just... based on religious grounds, you know?
Very well. I'll do it.
Good on you, Sakura.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Well, she wouldn't, bro.
Sakura. What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about? That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay, here I
Hey, they
go.
are, dude. I don't know. They're pretty close.
I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
In a brief prayer, Sakura then began to quietly examine her body.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is...
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
Eyes were stared wide at Shira's lifeless form. As the frame trembled.
This girl
Is
what?
Is a boy!
Oh, the big twist on the
I
trial.
see. So she was actually a he.
Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact.
What?
You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Then Then it's really true?
Chihiro was
A guy?
Hmm? Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro
What?
Fujisaki was totally a guy.
Then he was a cross-dresser? Oh, now I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting.
What's that sound? What's that? Bro. I swear to God.
Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial. Ahem. I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
Seeing that Chihiro was actually a guy, the thought had never
And
come
because
across
the
my
victim
mind.
was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most titillating situation!
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting.
Bro, this guy,
has
dude.
become very interesting.
This guy's rage bait
indeed.
fucking to the max, dude.
He's off in his own little world.
Very interesting. It's all very
What
interesting
about you, Makoto?
indeed.
After everything we've learned, do you
Guys,
still think Byakuya's
don't keep talking to
the
me.
killer?
I'm just here, bro.
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy. If you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the...
Mark it as correct?
For the time being.
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Are you fucking with us
fucking
right
psycho.
now?
No, I am not
Look at Psycho, bro.
effing with you right now.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why?
Yeah.
Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say? Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility. Because if we're wrong, We all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway,
Pretty much.
let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
Rebecca didn't do it. And who's the real killer? Who managed to hear it? There's one thing we should be sure about that was about the killer. The killer's a girl, the killer is a guy. Scene crime. The crime scene was the boys' locker room. You would need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Lena's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have had to use their own. In other words, it had to have been a guy. But that's still not enough. I need to find out more clues. Alright, that narrows it down. Library desk, display stains, let's count.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer.
And only the killer.
No, that's wrong.
So obvious, dude. That's flippy dippity wrong, dude. Yeah, that was so wrong.
I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes. I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this.
Makoto.
The rest of
knows
you
that.
had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag, and then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
Let's get going, I'm kind of in a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much, enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
What a marvelous friendship! The point is,
Oh, it's friendship
whoever
and
he met
death
up with
and
is
murder.
the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out
I
who
don't
it
think
was.
so.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
Thanks, Goko.
You know
Best on
who
you.
the killer is.
Seriously?
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket?
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
This one definitely holds some clue in the killer. Somehow it's really to live. We're about to find out. Someone's gonna slip up.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise.
Yep.
So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
No, that's wrong. Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said...
She said, "So the jacket. It's a duffel bag. A jacket." Didn't say what color.
Anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you? You just...
Hey, Celeste. What color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
In fact, it was
As a
blue.
matter of fact, it was blue.
Blue.
And before we began the trial,
That's a fact. It was
did
blue.
you tell anyone that?
Blue. In fact, it was blue.
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I'm
sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died. That's the only possibility. Cherry? Are you talking about Chihiro? So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony...
So the jacket into a bag. Alright. Just like that, she was gone.
When Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
Yeah.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it. To put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question.
The way he talked, the way he was acting.
There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
You noticed such a tiny detail?
I noticed it.
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No.
Oh
I'm
my
not the frightful one.
god.
Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah, he would never do something like that. This is a false accusation.
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come. That's what my
Dude.
little ghost friend is telling me.
Bro, you're such a filler
Oh
character,
yeah,
bro.
that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you'd found some evidence?
Really?
Wait, did he?
What kind of evidence?
Actually, you know, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
You're such a little
If
bitch.
you really insist, that here it is.
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
I got it! We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime,
Scene of the
right?
crime,
For
right?
a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit,
Why
right?
would he say that's irrelevant, dude? That's such a relevant.
Well, that's what I
thing.
was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
Oh, we know, dude. We know. How the handbooks break? There's only one possible explanation.
I got it!
By hitting his weak
You
one,
already
bro.
told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
Yeah! You remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip. But I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession,
Then we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
Huh? You're asking me?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already. Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example?
Oh,
Then allow me to make
sure,
a
bro. Don't
special
worry.
announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break.
I flippin' knew it!
You knew it?
You flippin' knew it, bro.
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees.
Jesus,
Strange
200
how
degrees?
you don't get burnt, huh? It's because
Yeah.
as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin.
That's actually some good little
If
trivia
the
there.
hot air of the
Don't mind
sauna
that.
were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Wow, interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere
Yeah,
trifling
same.
speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I might know someone who did.
Whoa, seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
Sauna was. Zelda really could have been one person.
Here's my answer.
Yeah, did it.
Mondo.
Some of his clothes
Your
on.
handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What? Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago. Remember?
Oh, I remember, dude.
And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
I didn't want to believe it either, but here's your answer. Card reader, cheers, you have it.
Let's test
Oh, fuck, what's Ali's account again? Distance from the other girls at the school. Fail that.
If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken,
excuse me,
then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Oh, he doesn't have his handbook, he has Leon's. I
Let's
wish I could
test
fucking
Makoto's
speed up.
assertion.
It would be
If what
cheer to
he
be
says
broken
is
handbook.
correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Jeez.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just...
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong. Yes, that was so fucking wrong though. He doesn't understand it.
Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall, isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's.
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Oh, my brother's home. So give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Yo. I'm back. Alright, let's go back to the game. It's time to play the game.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch! What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong! You are wrong! You have to be wrong! Everything you just said is wrong! You made it all up!
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning? That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
Wrong. Stop. Alright, so what do? Oops, that's the one. Try that way, that goes there. So we need to see who goes in the boys' room, right? Yeah, it goes Thane. Fuck goes here? Oh, that poster. So it'd be. I was just saying if there was a different one. Oh, bam, bam. By the poster. Shit, killed her. Unless... Nope, nope, that's not it. It breaks it. Where the sauna is, well, that's on the last one. So that means I'm missing this one. Oh wait, fuck, I'm stupid. I thought I've seen that one. That's definitely... What am I missing? What? There's two here. There's three actually. Well, so what does he do? Does he open the girls' room first? Only puts the poster up. There's like Psycho's thing. That goes there. Why is this like actually taking a while? Hold on. So alright, so bam, press in, goes in the boys' locker room. Mondo's there, and then he's like, oh, picks up the dumbbell, fucking smash on the poster, drops it. He's like, shit, dead, bam, rolls it up, takes down the poster. I think then, because that's him putting it up. So I think it makes sense for it to go there, unless. Yeah, it takes it. Alright, then goes to the girls. Okay, I'm stupid. So then goes to the girls, and then it's this one. Yep. Okay.
Here's exactly what happened.
Alright, there we go.
First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro
Act
headed
two.
out, even though it was officially
I
nighttime.
like how they do it in acts. It's so good. So well done.
She made her way to the locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room? Simple. Because she was really a he, which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from.
That's right.
It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned.
Okay.
Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. Then, removing the bloody poster,
in the girls' room, yeah. Okay, yeah, I got it
finally
right.
carrying the corpse
See, I
into the
overthink too much,
girls'
no
locker
problem.
room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course. But this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem. And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch. That could have been the end of things, but no. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation. So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library. And then he got to work.
Got to work, yeah. He got gone, mate. I don't know why I did all this, but he's a fucking psychopath.
Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter. And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out. Isn't that right, Mondo Owada?
Mondo Wada. Yeah, we gotta deal with Wada. I like Mondo though. It's a shame.
Wait. No. This can't be right. Where's your evidence? Yeah. Where's your evidence? You need evidence. You need proof. Without any proof, You can't pin any of this on him!
Someone is the killer that tragedy revealed itself early in the trial. After this, check that one item of his and then to bullet time battles. Yeah. So a little bit about fever time and nega time. That's a bit unfortunate name there, but sure. During a bullet time battle, if you press the space key for fever time will activate and the tempo will be forced to its max. At this point, even if you push the buttons at random, you won't miss. So you can push RMB, yeah, left, yeah. Well, destroy the opponent's verbal assaults. Until your focus gauge runs out, make sure the best possible use of your time. Of course, it would be fair if only you got the access to special time right. Also prepare the called negative time that your opponent can use. The opponent activates negative time during battle. Bullet time battle. Your tempo marker will disappear, making it quite a bit tougher to hit the buttons in rhythm. If you were to activate fever time at this point, no, never mind. I'm sure nothing would happen. I don't know what I was worried about. As far as the gentle. This point won't be used. Well, I'm a mean bro, so I don't really like. Really, I haven't really noticed much difference between mean and normal.
Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen.
That's such a
You're
card.
corrupt. I refuse to vote. I refute you. False. You're corrupt. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. Show me some evidence. Show me some evidence.
This should prove it.
This should fucking prove it. Dude, that's actually hard to get the timing down. I need to get better at that.
Thinking so far is right. Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon, in which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we'll...
We don't gotta do that.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I did it. I killed him.
Good on you, Mondo. Let's fucking go, dude. A's all around, dude. A's all around. Let's freaking go.
Bro, what are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting. No holding on. Time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Grab your lever and give it a yak. Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice?
Right choice?
Or the
dreadfully
wrong
wrong
one?
one?
What's it gonna be?
What's it gonna be? Yo, we already got the choice, dude.
What?
Oh, this time it looks like you got it right again. Yes, it is so. The black hand that killed Chihiro Fujisaki was Mondo Owada. In case you're wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Kiyotaka chose the wrong answer. You're treading very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimura. You need to be more careful. I refuse to believe it. There's no way you could kill someone. Sorry.
What is this?
Why are you apologizing? Why? Why did you do it?
Now then.
Well, it looks like Mondo's taking a vow of silence, so allow me to explain on his behalf. The story of the murder this time is the sad story of two men. Oh, but for anyone who doesn't really want to hear it, you can hit the control key to fast forward the next time. No, I want to hear it. Anyway, there was once a young boy, and his name was Chihiro Fujisaki. He had an extreme inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength. You're so weak, even though you're a boy. He heard these things like this, things like that, as long as he could remember, and he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and bury himself further and further into weakness, to make on the fragile form of a petite young girl. He had chosen that as his way out. Now, nobody will be able to say anything about it, even though you're a boy. But no matter how tightly he wrapped himself up in that shell, the inferiority complex had already taken root deep inside of him, and was not so easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear, instead it only grew stronger and stronger. I'm weak.
Weak.
Yeah.
Weak.
Once the killing game had begun here at the school, he had no choice but to accept his fate. After all, the world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets, which of course included Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. Even though he dresses like a girl, Chihiro is actually a boy. And that was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack, the armor would fall away. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being thrust into such a dilemma must have sent him spiraling into despair. And yet...
I'm sorry.
I don't really want to talk about it right now.
But...
I just don't want to leave things as the way they are. So maybe I can talk about it later? I have to try my best to become strong, then I can tell everyone. Annoyingly, he used that third discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
That's right.
Now's my
want to
chance.
change.
I'm gonna get stronger and accept who I am. Strong enough to that when someone says, even though you're a boy, I'll be okay, I'll be better. With that thought at the front of his mind, he resolved to take immediate action, and so... That day he made the commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his mind and body. But sadly, that would be the first and only chance he would get at it.
Hey,
When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be good to ask someone for help. But he wanted to tell that person in secret first and then ask them to help him from there. And the person he went to...
Right.
Yeah, it was me. Yep, it sure was. The biker gang fella had been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were, so Chihiro proudly figured that even if he confided in Mondo, his honor would make him keep the secret. Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo was the very symbol of a strong man that Chihiro had always inspired to be. Maybe talking to Mondo about it will help give me some courage. So he went and asked Mondo to help him become stronger. Oh, that's such a okay. That was his aspiration, but he thought that only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come close to that. So then, that must be why Mondo did what he did, to keep the promise he made to Chihiro. Huh? Did what he did? I mean, that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room to the girls' locker room?
Indeed.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Wasn't that to cover up what he'd done? That could have been part of it, but I don't think it was the main reason. The only purpose was to keep the promise between men he made to Chihiro. But how does moving the body keep a secret? Because if everyone knew he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once it started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity, so he tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook. See? Then Mondo did all to keep that promise he had made to Chihiro, who he's also killed. Yeah. Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? So why did you do it? Because no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know. So that's what you're good at after all. The possibility of having your embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
What is this?
That's impossible. Nothing could have been that bad. Something you didn't want anyone to know about, even if it meant killing someone. It's impossible.
Don't make me repeat myself.
How many times must I repeat myself? To judge others by your own standard is the height of folly. If you can comprehend it, he obviously can. That's all there is to it. Well, while we're on the subject, why don't I tell you? The embarrassing memory, that secret he didn't want anyone to know. You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother. Mondo, the ultimate bikie gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraff across the country tremble. But the only reason he had the chance to join a gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother, name was Daya Owada. Mondo had nothing but respect to him. It was because of Daya that Mondo ever got on a motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he intimidated him into everything. Imitated him in everything he did. Mondo was the autonomy of the starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang. And before everyone knew it, it had grown into the biggest biking gang in the country. Daya, the older brother, number one in the gang, and his number two, his younger brother Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy. But when Mondo started to think about how he could have to take over the gang from his older brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation, began to gnaw on Mondo's very soul. The kid's gonna take over for Daya, huh? Daya created this game with his bare hands. Mondo's just along for the ride. Could someone like that really be our leader? All they'll do is to make the game look bad. Almost every day Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of other members in the gang, which is why
I
gotta get stronger. Stronger than Daya. Once, just one time. No matter what, I gotta win. I don't care what it takes. I gotta come out on top. And on the night of this amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a secret race. But during the race, tragedy struck. The kid brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager for victory, and dashed into oncoming traffic. But suddenly, laying in his kid brother's arms, the older brother delivered his final words. "My bad, kid. I fucked up. Sorry." Of course he knew it was his brother's fault, but Daya never blamed him for what happened. Hey, kid. The rest is up to you. No matter what, gotta keep the gang together. 'Cause it's the team, you and me, put together. It's a promise. A promise between men. Sorry, I don't know why I did Monokuma's voice there. My bad. He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang in order to keep the gang together and kept the promise to his brother. He could never admit to anyone that it was his own weakness that had caused the accident, and as a result, the team was made even stronger under the banner of the kid who's bested his big brother. Daya was gonna lose his kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. That became the explanation. The explanation for what happened. Mondo's lie became the truth. He wanted to lead the team so bad he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother. I'm strong. Strong. And yet, as soon as that killing game began, he realized no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secret. At that point, it was clear I would have no problem shedding light on his secret. Mondo killed his own older brother. No matter what, I couldn't let the other gang members find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had to work to create would have been destroyed. His death, all the guilt I've been carrying around, it all would have been for nothing. So that's why I Mondo? As I saw Monokuma had on me, my head filled with a kind of fuzzy uneasiness and just started swirling around. I never felt anything like it before. I didn't even know what to do about it. I wasn't sure what to think or say, but after a while that fuzziness, uneasiness, turned itself into a hard lump of anxiety way down in my stomach. And it was right about then that Chihiro had asked me to start working out with him. And right there, he told me a secret. Seriously? Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry I lied to you. But why? Why now? Why are you telling me all this all of a sudden? Huh? Because, I mean, you've kept this secret all this time, right? If anyone found out, you would... You're right,
I
but...
want to change.
I want to change. I've wrapped myself in lies. I'm weak. I want to destroy the version of myself. Forever. His own words like a knife in my gut. Like a gut. I felt like he was exposing the lie I'd been living myself. I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong. It can't hurt you, right? Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us.
You piece of...
So what? You're saying I should just say it? You're saying if I really am, I should just be able to tell everyone my secret? Huh? I was jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. He had the strength to face his own weakness, to try and overcome it. It was the kind of strength I've never had. So I was jealous of him, and that jealousy broke me. Are you making fun of me? I'm strong. Are you fucking me right now? I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Mondo. I feel like I could hear something starting to creak. Something inside my head. What did he want me to do? What was I supposed to do? Well, was I supposed to just sit back, let my secret get revealed, and ruin everything?
What's wrong?
What's wrong?
Damn you!
Why did you have to tell me all that? You trying to rub my failure in my face?
I just wanted
No,
to...
I just really admire you. I admire your strength.
That's right.
That's right. I am strong. Strong. I'm strong. Strong. Stronger than you. And stronger than Daya. I don't remember anything after that. I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up again, he was laying at my feet, covered in blood. I had the dome in my hand, and I thought I just started staring at him down on the ground. Hey! I killed Chihiro.
Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Mondo? He was normally so aggressive, so angry. He hid the weaker side away from him, from everyone. That was his secret. A weakness like that lived in a heart like his, and it turned him cold-blooded. God damn it. Look at him, you see? You're all just like him. For a secret from the past, for a memory. For that, he killed another living human in cold blood. He could have cut free of his regrets from the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is. Do you see? Hope anywhere is there. 'Cause I sure don't. You bastard! Just shut up, you son of a bitch! Go ahead and say that again, I dare you! Okay, I'll say it as many times as I want. Is what I want to say, but unfortunately I can't do that right now because the time for punishing is fast approaching. Punishing?
It can't be.
You mean execution?
Well now.
That's what I promised you, right? The black hand that disturbs the peace will be punished. Hold on.
Then, I prepared a very special
Not a
punishment.
very special punishment for Mondo Owada, the ultimate bikie gang leader. No, wait.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
God damn it. No, I'm frozen again. Is it fixed? God damn. I said wait!
I couldn't
Sorry,
keep
man.
the promise we made. From one man to another.
Fucking goated, man. Sorry, 1 second, guys. Right, okay. Oh my god, my camera keeps freezing. Fuck it, I'll just try and unfreeze after I do this video. After I do this execution. No, I skipped it. Oh my god, I accidentally skipped it. My bad. Sorry guys. I I totally forgot about the fucking cutscene. Because I went to pause it. Because I was like, oh, maybe I might quickly fix my camera. And I clicked. Why is the pause button and the skip button the same thing, man? Fuck's sake. I just wanted to have it for the stream, man. I can rewatch it. Alright, you know, I'm really pissed off that I fucking did that. So I'm just gonna go on YouTube and just put it on. And just put on YouTube to watch it. My camera's still frozen. This just get fucked. Mondo's editing. Here we go. Mondo's execution. Here we go, guys. This is what happened. Crazy execution, alright. I love it. I love he's got the same hair as well. Ah, this is actually really loud though. There we go. The cage of death. So basically he just gets fucking spun around for like at incredibly fast speeds. Why does Monokuma have to do the fucking hula hoop thing, man? Like what has even happened, dude? What does the cage turn into, dude? And he's just gone. And then, of course, fucking hell. God damn, dude. He's just in the bottom, and the fucking background music was playing from the game. Anyway, you get my point. That's I'm so fucking annoyed I skipped that. It can't be! My brother! Another murder, another execution. I want to feel again. I don't want to feel it again. Anyone's lives are taken so lightly here. I feel like I might be going mad. Maybe I'll just let it happen. As Tucker's sad screens made us our skulls, we were each forced to realize once again. But he, of course, he had to. What a disappointment. This is the end of the game. Byakuya?
What is this?
You're completely insane, you know that? A game, one of our friends is dead, do you realize that? Of course I do. But because this game's life or death, I don't have anyone to say. I don't have anything to say to you. I don't have a response except that I just don't understand why. Why do you want to go out of your way to disguise Mondo's crime? Why? Isn't it obvious? Because it made things more interesting. His voice was calm, motionless, like the voice of death. It chilled me to the bone. Last night, when the murder took place, I was in the library as usual. So you ignored the nighttime rule too? That rule never mattered to me. I don't recall agreeing to it.
There is nothing to be done.
Well, I don't particularly care. Please continue. The night grew late, and I decided to return to my room, which is when I stumbled upon him. I spotted Mondo coming out of the girls' locker room. After he's gone, I looked inside and saw the corpse. You mean you actually witnessed the murder? He was such a fool. He didn't have the slightest idea of what I'd seen him. So you're saying you knew who the culprit was from the very beginning? Indeed. But if that had been the end of it, how boring would that have been? I mean, what a waste of time to wait to have the answer revealed right at the beginning. Which is why I decided to lend a little helping hand. I thought it would liven things up. You did all that to liven things up? So after hearing about Genocide Jack from Toko, you decided to use that to create the fake murder scene. But damn, man, if we hadn't figured out who'd really done it, you would have been dead too, right? Well, obviously it would have revealed the truth before it reached that point, of course. Rocco turned and looked at me in the eye. I could feel his sharp eyes piercing into me. Thanks to a certain remarkable someone, it never did that. It never did. And I was able to perform an interesting experiment.
Interesting.
Once I do decide to become Blackened, I now know who I'll have to watch out for. What?
Correct.
So, that was your reason? Are you satisfied?
Indeed.
Yes. We're done listening to your story.
Hey.
Moving on. There's something I'd like to ask Monokuma.
What's this?
Oh, I'm up next? You'd like to perform those elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is why? Do you like them? Do you know this punishment, this despair, it's not just for you. All this punishment, all this despair is my gift to mankind itself. You're over-exaggerating. I am not over-exaggerating. These punishments are meant to transform all hope into despair. What do you mean? 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 Good grief, I don't understand why you have to pick apart every little stupid thing. Whatever. It doesn't matter. In the end, I'm going to stand up alone as the victor, and then everything will be revealed in time.
Ooh, how
Revealed to me.
exciting.
Ah, the noble son of a noble family. Truly, you understand me. Boo-hoo-hoo. I think this is the start of a terrifying friendship. Shut up. I would never stoop to the level of a childish criminal like you. Let me just say this. After I've achieved complete victory, you're up next. I'm going to find you and kill you.
In the
Understand?
name of my family.
In the name of the Togami family, for which victory is foregone conclusion.
You're getting all riled up.
Oh, so cool! It's like you're the main character of a video game or something. No trash mod for you. I swear, whatever it takes, I will kill you. Boo-hoo, temper. Sounds like someone needs a nap. Boo-hoo-hoo-hoo. There we go. Trial concluded. Monikuma's laughter peeled across the courtroom, and the courtroom closed on the case of Shiro's and Mondo's murder. But I knew that wasn't the end. The killing game would still continue, because the mastermind wouldn't let it end. For those of us who were still alive, our worst fear and despair kept on multiplying. It was the kind of despair that felt like a blind puppy in hell. It felt like a blind puppy in hell had more of a future than us. Although our courage, our efforts, our friendship, it felt like it amounted to nothing at all. It was the worst kind of despair.
Well, anyway, like I was saying, this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it. Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part. You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now. So just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay? After all, that's what everyone wants to see.
There's one thing I'd like to ask
As long as
you.
you don't want to know my measurements, fire away.
Who is it? The 16th high school student I knew.
Ooh.
Ah!
My, you really took me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied. Because you see, that's my ace in the hole. And nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
Alright. So we got a traitor and the 16th student. There is a 16th student. The end. Damn, dude. Lost two other good characters. To be continued. Awesome. Would you like to say data? Hell flipping yeah. Alright, cool. Well, I will end it there, guys. Change back to face cam. Cool. Thanks for joining in. Shadow, thanks for coming in for a bit. Sucks that I had no one else come in. Fucking everyone just sucks, dude. No one wants to come watch me, bro. My streams suck. I mean, I just don't really have much to say. If I can genuinely like talk more during the games, I just get really into it. And plus, because I've played it before, it's like there's not a whole lot of commentary I can do. Like I can't just give first reactions. But like, I think that's just something that will come in time. Again, I've streamed a bit in the past, but streaming a game like Danganronpa can be a bit challenging, especially if you're already played it and you don't really have a lot to talk about. It can be tricky. And my camera's frozen. Well, I think this is a good time to finish off because I am getting sick and tired of this fucking camera having to be fucking configured every time. I have to always click configure video. It's so annoying. But, oh well, is what it is. Anyway, guys, I'm off for now. Thanks for tuning in this time, and I don't know when I'll be on next. I think I might have a couple days break, and hopefully be back maybe in a couple days, because I'm busy all day tomorrow. I just got to kind of get up early again tomorrow, and Sunday I'm working, so Monday will probably be my next time I can jump on for a couple hours and get a good chunk of chapter 3 done, is the goal, well, I think. So, yeah. Anyway, guys. Oh, the camera's frozen again. Love it. Alright.